Have you had a mentor along the way?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Who's the most powerful? Who's the one that just pops in your head and you're like, oh my
man.
gosh.
I've probably told so many people about this, but I've told her more times than I can count, and it's been a few years since I've got to speak to her. But everybody kind of has that favorite teacher they remember. Some that were just impactful because they made things easier. Mine because they had I think it's a life-saving role in my life.
Wow.
So like I said, early teens, early, adulthood, I was kind of all over the place. Didn't know what I wanted to do a whole lot. And basically walked away from high school in my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And just thought, I'm not going to go the rest of the year. I'll go back next year. And I was kind of left my home really early, moved out really, really at a young age, and thought I knew what I was doing, and that kind of stuff. And I had an English teacher that kind of ran into me one day, and she said, "Yeah, you're coming back to school, and we're going to finish. We're going to make sure you finish." And she had just always been kind of larger than life to me. Really listened to her a lot. She was a track coach, girls track coach. So I didn't, wasn't my coach, but she just took an interest. And the year that I came back that year, and I spent every lunch period my junior year grading papers and doing stuff for her because she wanted to make sure that I was on track and doing what I was supposed to do. And I mean, completely turned around my whole thinking on what I wanted to do at such a young age that I feel like it was life-saving, because I didn't have anybody in my life at the time that was really pushing at the time. And it's not, I'm not one of those blame game kind of persons, but, both my parents were really young when they got married, didn't finish school. So it wasn't a big deal that their kids weren't finishing school. It's just kind of breaking that cycle kind of thing. And I needed somebody to step in that would make a difference. And she did. And I mean, went on to do, finish school, of course, went on to do more stuff, doing what I'm doing now. And I think there's these little time periods in your life that, you never know where God's going to take you. And you don't have to have this to succeed at that. You can always start at any time. But I just feel like it was really pivotal. And I think it's part of the biggest reason I started coaching and I enjoy mentoring so much is because somebody stepped in when I needed them to and said, this is what you need to do. And was just such a positive influence. It wasn't this person that was just riding me all the time. It was just somebody saying, this is the right thing to do. Yeah. Let me show you how this, and it got me, grading papers and stuff helped me develop an interest in reading and English and doing more at that time.
Yeah.
And so it drove everything. It made my grades better, made me want to show up at school, made me want to finish. So it was really cool. So Miss Sanders, and she changed my life big time.
Ooh, I love it. Miss Sanders, thank you so much. I mean, just this guy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've got one of those too. Miss Kate McGlasson. You'll be on the podcast soon. Same thing. I was in high school, and I had a very destructive teacher in elementary school, and I didn't have confidence.
Yeah.
And had a couple teachers along the way that helped pick me up, but she's the one that showed me that I wanted to teach, showed me that I wanted to be the one coaching.
Man, that's awesome.
So we share that for sure.
Yeah.